Welcome to Explore with Ouzi. Today we have a fascinating and somewhat controversial topic to discuss. Today we're diving into a topic that's both controversial and eye-opening: the legalization of prostitution. This subject has sparked debates across the globe, with strong opinions on both sides. Now, before you click away thinking this is just about, let me tell you it's a lot more nuanced than you might think. We're not just talking about the act itself, but the broader implications it has on society. We're talking about human rights, labor laws, public health, and societal perceptions. These are all critical aspects that intertwine with the legalization of prostitution, all wrapped up in one complex issue. It's not just a black and white matter, there are many shades of gray that we need to explore. We're gonna journey across the globe looking at 10 countries where buying or selling sex is totally legal. Each of these countries has its own set of rules and regulations, and the impact on their societies varies widely. Some have strict regulations, others, not so much. We'll examine how these laws are implemented and what effects they have on the people involved. But each country offers a unique perspective on the world's oldest profession. From the bustling red light districts of Amsterdam to the regulated brothels of Nevada, we'll see how different cultures approach this issue. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more intriguing content. Your support helps us bring you more deep dives into complex and thought-provoking topics. Stay tuned, and let's explore this multifaceted issue together. The Netherlands. A country known for its picturesque landscapes, vibrant culture, and progressive policies, land of tulips, windmills, and, But beyond the cliches, there's a lot more to discover about this fascinating place. Here, prostitution is legal and regulated, especially in spots like Amsterdam's red light district. This area is not just a tourist attraction, but a symbol of the country's unique approach to sex work. Think of it like this: you can't just set up shop anywhere. The government has strict zoning laws to ensure that businesses, including brothels, operate in designated areas. Sex workers, they've got to register with the authorities, kinda like getting a business license. This process helps to keep track of who is working in the industry and ensures that they have access to health services and legal protections. And brothels? They need licenses too. Gotta make sure everything's above board. Regular inspections are conducted to ensure compliance with health and safety regulations. The idea is to create a safer environment for everyone involved. Law enforcement works closely with sex workers to ensure their safety and to prevent exploitation and trafficking. Now, whether it's the perfect system, well, that's a whole other debate. Critics argue that it still leaves room for exploitation, while supporters believe it's a step in the right direction. But hey, at least they're talking about it, right? Open dialogue and continuous evaluation are key to improving any system. The Netherlands' approach to sex work is a testament to their willingness to tackle complex social issues head-on. Next up, Germany, where they take their regulations seriously. We're talking full-on legalization and a system that treats sex work like any other job. That means sex workers get labor rights, healthcare, even social benefits. It's like being a cashier or a barista, just with, different skills. The thinking is, if it's gonna happen anyway, might as well make it safer and protect the people involved. Plus, it brings it out in the open, no more shady backroom deals. Transparency, people. Down under in New Zealand, they decided to flip the script back in 2003. They decriminalized prostitution altogether. No more criminal records for selling or buying sex. Instead, they brought in labor laws to protect sex workers. Want to refuse a client? Go for it. It's all about empowering sex workers and giving them the same rights as anyone else. Of course, there are still debates about whether it's gone far enough, but hey, at least they're trying something different. Chapter 4, Australia, a mixed bag down under. Now Australia, it's a whole different story depending on where you go. This vast country, known for its stunning landscapes and unique wildlife, also has a diverse approach to prostitution laws. Each state and territory has its own set of rules, making it a complex and often confusing landscape to navigate. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure book of prostitution laws. You turn the page and you might find a completely different scenario. This patchwork of regulations can be both liberating and frustrating, depending on where you are and what you're looking for. Some states, like New South Wales, they've gone the decriminalization route similar to New Zealand. Here, sex work is treated like any other job, with workers having the same rights and protections as anyone else. This approach aims to reduce stigma and improve safety for sex workers. Others, they regulate it with strict rules and regulations. In places like Victoria, sex work is legal but heavily controlled. Brothels must be licensed, and there are strict zoning laws about where they can operate. This regulatory approach aims to balance the rights of sex workers with community concerns. And then there are those who still have partial or even total bans. In Queensland, for example, street-based sex work is illegal, and there are significant penalties for those who break the law. This creates a challenging environment for sex workers, who often have to operate in the shadows to avoid legal repercussions. It's a bit of a head-scratcher, really. The inconsistency across the country can be bewildering, not just for sex workers but also for law enforcement and the general public. Navigating these laws requires a deep understanding of the local legal landscape. Maybe they should have a national referendum and let the people decide. A unified approach could simplify things and ensure that sex workers across the country have the same rights and protections. Until then, Australia remains a mixed bag, with each state and territory charting its own course. Chapter 5, Switzerland, neutral on morality, strict on rules. Switzerland, famous for its neutrality, also takes a pragmatic approach to prostitution. It's legal and regulated, but they don't mess around when it comes to rules. Sex workers, they gotta register and get regular health checks. And forget about soliciting just anywhere. There are designated zones for that. It's all about keeping things orderly and, of course, safe. They're like the efficient bankers of the prostitution world. Chapter 6, Austria, legal, regulated, and zoned. Austria, land of Mozart and Strudel, also happens to have legalized and regulated prostitution. They've got a system that prioritizes health and order. Mandatory health checks for sex workers? Check. Specific zoning laws for brothels? Double check. They're all about keeping things above board and making sure everyone's playing by the rules. It's like they took the Swiss model and added a little Viennese charm. Chapter 7. Belgium, known for its waffles and chocolate, also has a taste for legalized prostitution. They've got designated areas for sex work, and brothels operate under certain conditions. It's a bit like their approach to government, complicated with a lot of moving parts. But hey, at least they're acknowledging the reality of the situation and trying to make it safer for everyone involved. Greece, the cradle of Western civilization, also has a long and complicated history with prostitution. These days it's legal and regulated, with a focus on health and safety. Sex workers have to register, get regular checkups, and work only in licensed establishments. It's all about keeping things above board and minimizing risks. They've gone from the days of ancient temples to modern regulations, proving that even the oldest profession can evolve. Mexico, a country of vibrant culture and complex social issues, has a varied approach to prostitution. It's legal in some areas, but the regulations are about as clear as a lucha libre wrestling match. In some places like Tijuana, it's openly practiced in designated zones. In others, it's a bit more hush-hush. It's a country of contrasts, and the approach to prostitution reflects that. Finally, we arrive in Bangladesh, where prostitution is legal, but the social stigma is heavier than a plate of biryani. Brothels operate, but often face discrimination and a lack of oversight. It's a reminder that just because something is legal doesn't mean it's accepted. The fight for sex workers' rights and safety continues, even in countries where it's technically on the books. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Explore with Ouzi for more content like this. As you can see, the legalization of prostitution is a complex issue with no easy answers. Each country we explored has its own unique approach, with varying degrees of success. The debate is far from over, but hopefully this video has given you some food for thought. See you in the next video.